back. Let's get you back into the courtroom in New Hampshire. We've been watching the testimony in the small town secrets murder trial where the defendant is 41-year-old Timothy Verrill. There he is. He's accused of brutally murdering Jenna Pellegrini and Christine Sullivan. He maintains his innocence. He points to other people as the killers in this case.
Let's head back to the courtroom now for more of the cross-examination of Joshua Caldwell.
He was not.
But Dean was.
Correct.
And I want to go back to Saturday the 21st of January 2017. That was the day of the party at the Mountain Men Clubhouse.
Correct.
Right? That's the day that you invited Dean and he accepted the invitation to go?
Correct.
And as we looked at earlier, you had texted him and said to ensure that he was still coming.
Correct.
And he in fact did come.
He did.
You introduced him to other members of the club.
Correct.
That was his first time meeting those people?
To my knowledge.
Okay. So those, the members of the club, like you said, are like brothers. So it meant a lot for Dean to come down and hang out.
It was an invite only. Correct.
But it meant a lot to you personally that he came and hung out.
It was good to have him there, yeah.
In State's Exhibit 17, you reviewed this text yesterday. At 12:34 a.m., you said, "Hey, bro, thanks so much for coming down and hanging out with me and my brothers. It means a lot to me for you to come down when I know you are so busy. But I truly consider you a brother. I'm proud to call you that. Love and respect, brother." So it meant a lot to you personally that Dean would take time out to come hang out at the club with you and your brothers.
Correct.
And at this point, you're now referring to Dean as a brother.
Correct.
And you were proud to call him that.
Correct.
Dean told you that he was happy to come, and he thought that the crew was a clan of good dudes.
Is that what he said? I can't see him.
Sure, I'll just
Yeah.
show you this.
Yeah.
You mind if I just read it to you,
No,
and you can read along with it?
Yeah.
6:24 a.m. He responds, "I was glad to be there, bro. Quite the clan of good dudes."
Correct.
Now, one of the people at the party was Ian Bates, right?
Correct.
Ian was a good friend of yours at the time,
He was?
and you introduced Dean to Ian.
Correct.
At the time, Ian was a member of the Vigilantes Motorcycle Club.
Correct.
They were based out of Massachusetts.
Correct.
They had a similar code of conduct like the Mountain Men did, right? Of secrecy and silence.
Well, objection, basis of knowledge, if you know.
I wasn't a member of that club.
I'm also going to show you Exhibit 17 one more time. We've reviewed the first two messages. I'll direct you to the third one, 10:09 a.m. He said, "Hey, bro, I just wanted to let you know I got a text from a friend again, and he said he couldn't come yesterday because he was feeling confused again. I'm starting to get real worried about him."
Correct.
And yesterday you testified that that referred to Tim.
Correct.
Again, you reviewed this packet to make sure that it was complete.
Correct.
And I will turn to the page before, Saturday, January 21st, 2017. There are 3 texts on this page, correct?
Correct.
None of them involve Tim?
Correct.
So Tim didn't actually text you the day before that he was confused?
I don't know.
Well, it's not in here, is it?
It's not in there.
That log also contains records of phone calls between parties.
Correct.
There's no phone calls between you and Tim on that tape?
No, I didn't see any. Correct.
So back to the party that Saturday. The snowplow.
We have to step aside for a break, but let's bring in National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar, who is standing by as our legal analyst as we follow this case. Michael, it's good to see you. Happy Friday. I want to ask you about this witness and the length of the cross-examination. I mean, they went to a lunch break, came back, more cross-examination of the same witness. If there were any points to be made early on, do you think they're losing steam and continuing to question this way?
You know, when I was growing up, I wanted to be an attorney because I heard many cool things about being an attorney. One of the things was, hey, attorneys only ask questions that they know the answers to. So I thought, oh, that would be cool. I'd like to know the answer to every question before I ask it because I don't know the answer. That's why I'm asking a question. Later on, you find out you don't know the answer to any question. What people were referring to is, in a trial context, you only ask a question if you already know what the answer is going to be because you've examined it and you've investigated it in the past, right? So you ask the question in a courtroom for a specific purpose. You know the answer because you've looked into it, not because you're smart, just you've looked into it and you know what this person is going to say to whatever question you ask, and you're prepared to impeach them if they lie, right? So I think this cross-examination is becoming lengthy, but the one thing I liked, and it was in the prior block, the attorney knew that the police had not investigated any of his social media, any of his text messages. They have not looked at his computer. He knew that, and he said when we talked earlier, so let me ask you, did the police look into your phone when they were investigating this case? No. Did they look in your social media? No. Did they look at any of your stuff? No. And so I thought that was effective because that he knew the answer to that question. He wanted to say in his closing argument, he's going to say, look, they didn't even look at anybody else other than my client, and I think that was a mistake. So I think that was the impactful thing, but it's stringing on a little bit too long, and he's clearly asking questions now that he doesn't know the answer to.
The beginning of direct with this witness, he was asked, did you kill these women? No, and his reaction got a lot of people's attention because it was either overacting or it was strange. Let's put it that way. And who knows how the jury's going to take it. Do you expect the end of the cross being a redo there, try to get under his skin one way or another so that the lasting impact for the jury is, is this guy telling the truth?
She doth protest too much, as Shakespeare said. Yes, I believe this guy looks like a stick of dynamite about to explode, right? And he's getting very, very snippy. So I'm hoping, my entertainment side is hoping that he explodes and we get some answers, because right now watching this trial, I don't know if this defendant was the person who killed these women. So I think he might explode. He does seem like he's about to explode. He looks like a gangster. I mean, this is like if watching Breaking Bad was extended for a 7th season and everybody got arrested and everybody survived and everybody started testifying. This is what it would look like.
You're not wrong that it feels like almost movie characters because of the way that they're able to be so transparent about this side of their life, the gangs and the motorcycle clubs and the drug trafficking, but the murder is what we're here about. So it's fascinating to see it all unfold, this small town mystery. We have to squeeze in a break. Michael Jaafar, stand by. We'll have more of that cross-examination, see where the defense attorney goes after this.